Hi there, Mr. Muhammed is here. This is Oxford Complete Mathematics for IGCSE students, and in this tutorial we're going to talk about graphing quadratic equations. How can we draw curves? How can we plot points from quadratic equations? And how to start. So before we start with this set of exercise on page 144, so I'm going to show you this example. The graph of y equals x squared is a curve like this. So the graph of any quadratic equation is a curve similar to this one, but sometimes the curve is wider, or the curve doesn't start at the origin. It moves to the right or left or up and down. But in general, the graph of any quadratic equation looks like this. By the way, this graph that you see now, it's the graph of y equals x squared only. There's no x and constant, but it's still a quadratic equation because the highest power of x is 2. So this is a quadratic equation. Now, let's start with question 1. So just like drawing the graph of linear equations, for now we follow the table method. Question 1, the equation is like this: y equals x squared plus 2x. It's just x squared plus 2x, and the x's that we pick must be between -3 and 3. Now let's draw the graph of this equation. The graph of this quadratic equation from -3 to 3 on x-axis. As the question says, we need to have a scale of 2 centimeters for 1 unit on x-axis and 1 centimeter for 1 unit on y-axis. Since our x-axis is from -3 all the way to 3, it means there are 6 units, so we need 12 steps for the x-axis. Okay, let's say this is our xy axis. Now we make a table with x values and y values, then we plot the points that we get from the table, just like the way we did for linear equations. Now the table, x's are here, y's are here, means the results. So for quadratic equations, it's better to pick negative numbers, 0 and positive numbers, because you can get the shape of the curve. Now if we pick -3, because it's in the domain, -3. So when x is equal to -3, we will have something like this: -3 to the power of 2 plus 2 times -3. -3 square is, it's like this: -3 squared, it will be 9, plus 2 times -3, it will be -6. So 9 minus 6 is equal to 3. 9 plus minus will be minus at the end. Then 9 minus 6 is equal to 3. This is the value of y. Now let's pick -2. If x be equal to negative, we will have -2 square. So it's better to put brackets when you have a negative number with powers, because some calculators doesn't calculate when you don't put brackets. So put bracket all the time. Now -2 square plus 2 times -2. -2 square is equal to 4. 2 times -2 is -4. So -2 leads to 0. Let's put 0 in place of x. So we will have 0 squared plus 2 times 0. If x be equal to 0, we will have 0 squared plus 2 times 0, which is finally equal to 0. 0, 0. And if we put 1 in place of x, then 1 in place of x leads to 1 square. 1 square plus 2 times 1. 1 square is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Add them. The result is 3. If x be equal to 1, we will have 1 square plus 2 times 1. 1 square is 1 plus 2 times 1 is 2. 1 plus 2, 3. And finally, let's put 3. 5 points are enough. As long as you see numbers are repeating, it means the curve is symmetric, it's fine. Now, if we put 3 in place of x, we will have 3 squared is 9, plus 6 is equal to 15. Although 15 exceeds this xy axis, but it's fine, let's draw. Then let's plot now. On x-axis we have 1, 2, 3 here, and here -1, -2, -3 comes here. Now the y-axis it's going by 1. We don't need to label it. Even if you label it, it's fine. It's going by 1. Okay, the first point is -3 in x, 3 in y. -3 in x is here. 3 in y, 1, 2, 3. So this is the first point. -2, 0. -2 in x-axis is here. 0 means stay on the -2. This is the second point. It was first. 0, 0 is in the origin. Then 1, 3. 1 in x-axis, 3 in y-axis is here. And 3, 15. 3 is here. 15 goes up 15 steps. It's somewhere around here. And we didn't put -1. But -1, since these are like this, so the -1 will be the bottom of the graph. If we put -1, let's add -1. If we put -1 in place of x, we will get -1 to the power of 2 plus 2 times -1. This equals -1 squared is +1 plus 2 times -1 will be -2. Then 1 minus 2 is -1. The -1 in x is here, -1 in y is right here. So see, we see a perfect curve, so it means the graph is right. If you see any point disturbing the curve, for example, these points are all kind of symmetric, but when you see a point here, it's disturbing the curve, so it means this point, something went wrong with it. So whenever you see a point disturbing the curve, it means something went wrong with that point. Now let's join them. We have the graph from -3 to 3 as the question wanted. We have to join them not with straight line, we have to join them with curves. The graph looks like this. If we draw the graph of this quadratic equation properly using, you'll see the graph and how similar we made. The graph is like this, and we did it between -3 and 3. As you see here, the bottom of the graph is -1, -1, as we have it here. Then -2, 0. Then we have -3, -3 and 3. Look, this is -3, 3. And on the other side, we have 15 opposite 3. Here is 3 in x-axis, and here is 15 in y. So our graph is correct. Try to join the points with smooth curves to make something similar to this one. Then question 1 done. Question 2, y equals x squared plus 4x. Again, from -3 to 3. Okay, let's do this. Firstly, we need an xy axis from -3, 4x to 3. In 2 units, it means 6 steps on the side. Okay, let's have this xy axis. Okay, firstly we make the table and then we plot the points on the xy axis and we join them with smooth curves. X here, y there. Okay, when x is equal to -3, so when x is -3, we will have -3 squared plus 4 times -3. -3 squared is 9. 4 times -3 is -12. 9 minus 12 is -3. So -3 is one of the points. If we put -2, we will have when x is equal to -2, from this y will be -2 squared plus 4 times -2. -2 squared is 4. 4 times -2 is -8. 4 minus 8 is -4. If we put -1, then -1 squared is +1. 4 times -1 is -4. 1 and -4 will be -3. If we put 0, it will be 0 squared plus 4 times 0, so 0 plus 0. If x is 0, y will be 0 too. If we put 1, if x be equal to 1, y will be 1 squared plus 4 times 1. 1 squared is 1 plus 4 times 1 is 4, so it will be 5. And if we put 2, it's not conditioned to substitute all the values of x, but this question, I want to do it properly. I want you to see how simple it is. When x is 2, so we will have 2 squared plus 4 times 2. 2 squared, when x is equal to 2, we will have 2 squared plus 4 times 2. 2 squared is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 plus 8 is 12. So it's 12. And finally, when we put 3 in place of x, we will get 3 squared is 9, 4 times 3 is 12, 9 plus 12 is equal to 21. When x is equal to 3, we will have 3 squared plus 4 times 3, which is equal to 9 plus 4 times 3 is 12, it's 21. 3 leads to 21, but these points are enough to draw the curve. The first point is -3, -3. As we know, we have 2 centimeters for 1 unit on x-axis. This is x-axis, and the vertical one is y-axis. So 2 centimeters, this is 1, 2, 3. That's what we want. Then -1, -2, -3. Y-axis is going by 1. It's fine if we don't label it. The first point we have is -3, -3. -3 in x is here. -3 in x is here. -3 in y means go down 3 steps. This is the first point. The second point is -2, 4. -2 in x is here. -4. It's -2, -4. -2 in x is here. -4 in y is right here. So this is the point -2, -4. Then we have -1, -3. As you see, look, whenever you draw the graph of a quadratic equation, you have to see some numbers repeating because it's symmetric. And this is the beginning of the curve. This is the lowest point in the curve. Then -1, -3, we marked. 0, 0. 0, 0 is the origin. 1, 5, 1 is here in x. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 1, 5. So far, we see a smooth curve. 1, 5 done. 2, 12. 2 in x is here. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the next point goes to 21. I don't think we have 21 on this xy axis, but 3, we calculated 3 and 21. So we need to go up 21 steps. So 20, 21. This is the point we need. 321 is marked. So far, we see a smooth curve. There is no any point disturbing the curve. All the points, they complete a smooth curve together. Now all we have to do, join them with curves that can complete each other. Okay, we did the graph freehand roughly. The curve looks like this, and let's do it with the software. Now let's draw the graph of this quadratic equation, y equals x squared plus 4x, and see how close we are to the proper one. As you see, it's all right. So we have with -3, -3. -3 is right in front of -3. So the point is correct. -2, -4, as we have it here. -1, -3. So we did everything correct. Then to avoid drawing these large patterns of curve, it's better to pick numbers between them and substitute it in the graphs. So that leads you to some other points. So you will draw shorter curves. If you think between 2 points needs a large curve. Even here, with this device, I cannot draw these curves accurately, but I'm showing you the way. Question 3, it's the same as question 1 and 2. Well, we did question 1, we did question 2. Question 3 is your task. So this is the end of this tutorial. In the next lesson, we're going to start with question 4. And you comment below whatever question you have. Thank you for watching.